There are a lot of things I've done to this car that I'm not proud of. The biggest regret is chopping the rear quarter panels and installing flares the night before a car show. At the time, I told myself I'd fix it properly, but I never did. This is my 1991 Honda Beat. I bought it from Japanese Classics in Virginia and had it shipped to my house in California. Living in the city at the time, having a K car was awesome. I could park this thing anywhere. People would park in the middle of two spaces to save a spot, and the Beat was small enough to fit into the opening and ruin their day. It was the best. Pretty much the moment it arrived, I started modifying it. And all of the modified Beats in Japan are slammed to the ground, have wide body kits and aggressive aero, and I wanted to do exactly that. The problem was I had more enthusiasm than skill. I sourced some generic flares, hacked up the fenders, filled the gaps with seam sealer, and drooped the springs on the coilovers. The fitment was terrible and the tires still rubbed. And I told myself I'd do it eventually, but that was 10 years ago. Recently, I decided to finally fix it, so I 3D scanned the entire car, modeled a custom set of rear wide-body fenders from scratch, split them into a bunch of pieces to 3D print, glued everything together, and wrapped the whole thing in carbon fiber. I covered every step of it in my last video, and I put the link in the description if you want to check it out. And the results took the car from looking like this to this. And with the fenders finally done the way I wanted, the only thing left was to go back and fix the hacked up quarter panels. When I first got the Beat, I was living in a small apartment downtown with my wife, and it was parked in a public parking garage. The apartment had a strict no car working policy, and I would always get warnings from the manager. And every time I worked on the car, I felt like I was breaking into a bank or something. And honestly, that was the most exciting thing in my life for a while. A couple years later, we bought our first house, and I was more excited about the garage than the house. I could tinker whenever I wanted, and I signed up for car shows just so I could have deadlines to work towards. And people really seemed to like the direction the Beat was going. There was a stretch of maybe a year or so where I felt the build was actually progressing. And then things got busy. Home projects started stacking up, and the garage was full of things that needed fixing, painting, and replacing. The Beat went from something I was actively building to something that was just kind of taking up space and covered in dust. Then the pandemic hit and everything stopped. Car shows got canceled and nobody held meets anymore. Instead of using all that time at home to finally work on the Beat, I bought a Sprinter van. And my wife and I drove around visiting national parks. And honestly, it was exactly what we needed at the time. The Beat started to feel like an obligation. And every time I looked at it, I felt so guilty. And working on the van had no strings attached. So we just kind of built it out, hit the road, and it was one of the best things we've ever done. But the Beat sat for months. And every time I'd walk past it in the garage, I'd feel so guilty. I'd always ask myself, do I fix it? Do I sell it? Or do I even want it anymore? And I started thinking about it more and more, and if I'm honest, I knew the answer for a long time before I ever admitted it. And I was done with it. My taste had shifted and my priorities had shifted, and the Beat just didn't fit who I was anymore. And coming to that conclusion was pretty relieving. There's a version of car culture that's about pushing everything to the extreme, and while I still think that's really cool, I want something that looks classy, that rides comfortable, and even fits my whole family. The Beat represented a version of me from 10 years ago, a younger guy who wanted to show up to car meets and have people notice his car, and that's not a bad thing, but I just don't want to do that anymore. So I made a decision. I'm going to finish it the right way, do the car some justice, and then let it go to someone who'll actually show it some love. The first step was cutting a proper section out of the quarter panel with enough clearance that the tires can't rub no matter how low the car sits. Then I pie cut the inner fender well, welded it to the outer skin, and patched the larger gaps to make sure everything was properly sealed up. Once the welding was done, I turned to the wide body panels. The carbon fiber fenders looked great from a distance, but up close they were super wavy. I should have spread filler and blocked them out before laying the carbon, or wrapped them in fiberglass first to get a smooth foundation. There were at least 5 better ways to approach it, and I picked none of them. So I skimmed the whole thing in body filler, blocked it out, and just planned to wrap it in vinyl anyway. I'll say that this is good enough. I decided to wrap it in khaki green vinyl, and then I started out with the hood. I found out that wrapping is much harder than it looks on social media. And once I finished wrapping the car, the plan was to shoot some content, get some good listing photos, and put it up for sale. Before I even got that far, I got a DM from someone asking if the Beat was for sale. It was like the universe is telling me that I've done enough to this poor Beat and it's just time to let it go. So I said yes. And then it got sold the next day. And just like that, after 10 years, the Beat was gone.
And just like that, she was gone.
It was honestly bittersweet watching it go, but I'm grateful that it went to someone who actually wanted it. I think a lot of us have a version of the Beat sitting somewhere, like a project or a goal, something we started with a lot of excitement, then set aside when life got complicated, and then felt quietly guilty about it every time you see it. I think the guilt can kind of trick you into thinking you're a failure. But I learned that the worst thing you can do is keep it around out of obligation. The Beat deserved to be finished, and it deserved to go to someone who'd actually drive it. So anything that makes you feel guilty, just get rid of it. Yeah, that feels right. Even though I was over it, I grieved over selling the Beat. So after a couple of days, to get over it, I decided I needed another project. And this is my 1983 Honda Civic wagon. I found it on Facebook Marketplace about an hour from where I lived, so I can convince my wife to go see it with me in exchange for stopping by the H Mart in town to pick up the limited Heidi Lau electric hot pot. For a 40-year-old car, the body is immaculate. Minor door dings, a couple of small paint chips, and no major rust. Earlier in this video, I said I wanted simple builds, something clean and easy to drive, just minimal. So this project is going to be an electric conversion using a motor stack from a Nissan Leaf. So the plan is that this will be a clean Civic wagon with an electric drivetrain. Quiet, simple, and something that I'll actually drive. And I'm hoping you guys will keep me accountable. I'm going to document everything from the teardown to the conversion and to all of it. And if that sounds like something you'd want to watch, make sure to subscribe so you don't miss out. And one last thing, you may have noticed I name all of my cars after Korean food, so I need a name for the wagon. So drop your suggestions in the comment section, and the comment with the most likes will have the most likes. And as always, thanks for watching.